No, hold it. Did you hold it? Did you hold it? Welcome to Bookish Babble. Today, we are talking about Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver, the queen, the one and only queen.
Okay.
Also, impromptu, we wore flannels today just for fun.
I wore my pink one in honor of the first book, Flawless, because the cover's pink.
Cade is blue, and he's my favorite.
All right, well, Rhett is not my favorite, but
it's fine. But yeah, we're going to talk about the books. I'm going to say my ranking of the books, and then you could say your ranking. I have a TikTok. I don't know if you could see it.
Subtle plug.
Yeah. Ranking the Chestnut Springs series. So this is my least to my favorite. Hopeless is my least. Powerless. Flawless. Reckless. And then Heartless.
Okay. Well, okay. So my least favorite to favorite, I feel like I know it.
Okay, I believe in you. And if the TikTok says different, we're going to blast it on here.
All right, so my least favorite to favorite. My least favorite was Flawless. But the reason why it was my least favorite was because when I first started reading it, I don't know what I was expecting right out the gate, but I was a little bored. And then, like, maybe 40 pages into, like, starting to get towards the halfway point of the book,
I was looking at the camera.
I was more intrigued, and I started to care about the characters a lot more. And I think my love for the series grew as I read more because it's going back to the same characters that you know and love.
Yeah.
And I didn't know and love them yet.
That's fair.
So, and my least favorite was Flawless.
Next.
It's a tie between Hopeless and Powerless. I don't know why. I just can't pick between the two. Because I love them both for different reasons, and I had issues with both for different reasons.
Yeah. Again, I feel like they were obviously the least cowboy. And not that it took me out of it, because I still loved the book. Yeah. But, like, because the other books were so cowboy heavy that it was like, oh, we're just, like, switching gears for a minute.
Cowboy heavy.
LOL.
Rootin' tootin'. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Yeah.
Okay, so, right. It was the tie between Hopeless and Powerless. Next up is Reckless. Because it was very good.
Mm-hmm.
And at number one spot is Heartless.
Daddy Cade.
It was so good. I kept reading people be like, oh my god, I love Cade. Daddy Cade. I can't even say that without cracking a smile. But every time I would hear it, I'd be like, what could be so good? Because I had only read Wild Love and Wild Eyes up until that point.
Oh, right. That's crazy.
So I was still like Ford Grant and like West Belmont. I was like, these two men are impassable. And then I read Heartless and I'm like, yeah. Oh, okay. They're right.
I know. And there's always like the big debate online. It's like people are like, Cade or West? I feel like that's what I see the most. And you asked me that before we started filming and I was like, I don't know. But yeah. So I feel like that's like the two main favorites.
Yeah, I'd say so. I really love Ford, but I don't remember why. And he was that was the first cowboy romance I ever read. Cowboy romance. It was really a single dad billionaire romance, more like it.
We'll kind of talk about that series too, because they're like intertwined and
yeah.
One of them's the sister of Ford.
Willa.
Yeah, that's Cade's. Yeah, okay. I was like, wait, that's the one we're talking about.
But
good.
Yeah, he gets mentioned a lot in the books Ford.
Well, that's why when I read Wild Love and then they mentioned Chestnut Springs characters, I was like, okay.
Stop. Take it back.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to go back and read Chestnut and then I'll read Wild Eyes.
Got it.
That's why I did it like that, because I wasn't sure how Wild Eyes was going to be. If they were going to talk about any more Chestnut Springs people, I didn't want to get things spoiled, because technically it was like, oh, well, Will is married to one of the Eaton boys. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't want to know anymore, even though I figured.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Thanks for watching.
That's all we got today.
No, we have 5 books to
No, I know.
delve into.
I know. I also really love like the music aspect since I do like music and stuff. In Heartless, she plays like guitar.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And then also like Wild Love and Wild Eyes. Literally, the character's name is Skylar.
And she had a song in the book.
I know, and it's Skylar with an A. Me. It's literally me. Crazy. The first book, Flawless.
Yes.
I loved it, and I know that it's Elsie Silver's favorite. Like she loves him.
Oh, as a character, Rhett,
He is fine.
he's fine. The book itself is just meh. I loved their characters in every book that wasn't their own. If that makes sense. Because I got to see more of them and more of their dynamics. So I got to fall in love with those characters even more. But the first book didn't do it for me because it kind of just seemed...
Well, it was like the beginning.
It was the
start of it.
Yes, but it was also like... It made no sense to me.
Right.
Also, the cringiest part of her having his poster on her wall.
Yeah, that was wild. That was a crazy one. But yeah, but he's like the bull rider. I was like, oh my god, it's so dangerous.
Yeah.
So slay.
Very muscular mans.
Yeah.
And we meet Theo, who comes back in the
I know.
4th book.
So that book is so good.
All right, we'll get there.
I know. I wanted to say a lot about it. And in that book too, didn't they talk about everything that went down with like Summer being in the hospital and then her sister married the doctor that was like creeping on her?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
You're meant to hate her sister Winter in the beginning.
Yes, but by that
I never
book,
did because I was like,
we're going to like her later.
Not even that. I knew that, but I was like, she doesn't seem that bad. And then a lot of the explanations came out and I was like, oh, so she's actually not that bad.
Well, yeah, I figured, but at the same time, like she just like kind of annoyed me and I was worried about her book. But it ended up being my second favorite.
Yep.
Like, yup. Yeah, that whole plot was crazy. And just navigating through that and just being like, it's fine. And they're like, it's not fine. And like Rhett punches him in the face. I'm like, yeah.
That was a true out loud fuck yeah moment for me. I was like, oh my god, thank god. Otherwise I was gonna crawl through the pages of this book and sock this MFer in the face.
No, literally, he is the worst. He is the worst.
He's a creep. He's a pedo creeper. He was creeping on her as a teenager and then got with his sister so that he could keep tabs on her while also...
I know. He's weird. Weird.
Gross.
But then the next book, Hopeless, obviously love everything.
I think I'm a fan of the single dad trope and she gets along with the kids. Because that's what I loved about Wild Love and Wild Side and getting to read it again in
You said
Heartless.
Wild Side. That didn't come out yet.
I meant Wild Eyes. Sorry.
It's okay. I was like...
Because I was staring at it. Oh, actually, I accidentally pre-ordered it twice on Amazon.
I've done that before. So it's fine.
But
it's fine.
I canceled one of the orders because, like, it wasn't like, oh, I accidentally pre-ordered it and then I did it on Amazon. No, I pre-ordered it twice on Amazon by accident. Because we were talking about it.
I haven't done that.
Because we were talking about it and you were like, oh, I ordered Wild Side on Amazon. And I was like, oh, I should probably do that. And I did it immediately after that. Like, while we were at the house talking, I did it right there. And then 2 days later, I looked at it while I was scrolling on my Amazon orders trying to find a package that was supposed to be delivered. I saw 2 copies of Wild Side and I'm like, oh, I already bought it. That's so funny.
That's so crazy of
cancel
me.
that.
Yeah. It's going to be so good.
But anyway,
Heartless.
I meant Wild Eyes. But yeah, love all those books.
Heartless was, it's just so good. The way they get along and it just like, just love it so much. And it's Summer's best friend from the...
Willa, yes.
So like she comes in. She's
and
like,
Fort Grant's sister.
I know.
Oh,
it's so crazy. It actually is so crazy because then Ford he gets mentioned in Reckless when Winter and him go to the city for a date night.
Oh yeah, they went to the club.
Yeah, I was like,
In the club, we all fam.
So like pop off. I love that. That was incredible.
I wasn't expecting to like fully see him in the scene of his nightclub before he moved to Rose Hill.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to experience that.
I know. I was like, oh my God, like I know who you are.
I also love that Willow kept like referring to him as like a prick and like kept making fun of him. But I was like, but I know his story in his book and I love him.
I know. So it's like, it's fine.
It's okay.
But yeah, Heartless is just 10 out of 10. Cade and Willa written perfect. Like, I don't think she could have done anything to make it better. Like, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Personally.
I would like 4 more books dedicated to Cade and Will.
Please. And then, oh yeah, and then she gets pregnant, right? Maybe not at the end of that book, but at the end of one of the books, they find out she's pregnant.
Yeah.
I think it was the end of that book.
I think it was, because didn't he like...
It was either that one or Powerless. It was like they were all sitting down.
Right.
After the other two got together. But yeah.
I read it a while ago.
Yeah, I forget which.
Maybe.
But they do end up getting pregnant. I just forget which.
Pregnant.
No, not again. Not again.
Cleo is pregnant.
She's pregnant. And then.
But Willa is pregnant.
Yes. And then they have like a little family, and it's like
they do.
freaking cute, and I love it.
Also, in a different book I read, there was a character named Luke Eaton, and I was like, that's crazy, because that is Cade's son.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But in the book I was reading, he was like a drug dealer, so like, no.
Oh, okay.
But like, it was cool to see his name.
Yeah. And then in Powerless, I forgot the guy's name. I couldn't remember. Jasper. Gervais. I was like, how do you say that?
Like Ricky Gervais.
Oh, yeah.
I
can't remember that.
Just put that together right now as I said it.
What was the girl's name?
Sloane.
Sloane.
I liked that book more than you. I know I did.
You did. And I think it's because it was like hockey based that I was like, okay.
But there was like barely any hockey in it.
He traveled a lot. And she was always like going. It was still it was still really cute though.
But she was still with him.
No, yeah. I know. It was really good.
The books got spicier as you kept getting through them.
I know.
The books kept getting spicier as you went through them.
Yes.
Which made my tiny little
literally Hopeless. I was
explode.
like, Hopeless, you turn the page, you start the book, and it's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
We're already there. But then Flawless, it's like, okay, like
he gently caressed my cheek.
Yeah, and it's like you get a little past the halfway point is when it starts. And then every book it just kind of slowly gets less and less from the halfway, more towards the front, and you're like, oh,
that escalated quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
So Reckless.
Oh my gosh. If Heartless wasn't a book,
that one would be my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not that he's the single dad trope, because obviously she's there.
It's like single mom trope for like a year, and then he comes back.
Yeah, but it's crazy that he didn't even know that happened, because his assistant or whoever it was, the mic is mad. His assistant or whoever
the hell had access to his phone
was like, oh, sorry, your beat. Like, what?
No, the words actually like peeved me when I read it.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, like,
bro, are you kidding? I felt so bad for her in that moment, but the second I read that, I was like, someone else has his phone. I was like, there's no way Theo said that. From the buildup of his character through all the other books, I was like, no. He was so head over heels. He was so convinced that he was going to get her to ask him for another one night stand that they signed a contract for it, which was so cute, by the way.
Napkin, like, yeah, oh my God, pop up.
But oh my God, second I read it, I was like, no, this does not fit with his personality.
I thought that maybe Rhett took his phone,
but he would still know that Winter was the one texting him.
And that's why I was like, well, it can't be him,
because he's not an asshole,
right? And at first, so when I was reading, I was like, oh my gosh, like he's just joking around, like it's probably Rhett. But then it got serious, and I was like, Oh.
Yeah, and when he had like no idea, I was like, I knew it.
That made me so upset because he's like, oh my gosh, I lost like
A year
yeah.
with my daughter.
Poor guy. And then Winter was mad at him for no reason, even though like they were both madly in love with each other.
They were really madly in love with the daughter, and through the love of the daughter
Yeah.
came the actual love for each other, because no
They
matter
liked each other. They were attracted to each other. And
yes,
obviously, and then it turned into that love, like you're saying.
yes. Well, Theo fell first.
Oh, yeah.
Because the second he met her, he was like, dude, I think I just fell in love with your sister-in-law.
Yeah.
So he's known, and he pursued her, but he knew that his feelings were going to get like caught up in this whole tangled mess. But she was just like, it's a one and done sitch.
Yeah, she's like, you're hot, but like, it's fine. I can get past this.
She's like, oh my God, I'm so much older than you. She was 2 years older than him. That's nothing.
well, I guess if you're older than like your partner, you feel like you're the,
Right? But
especially if you're a girl.
she was making it sound like
I know
she was so much older. Meanwhile, what is the largest age gap in this 13 years with Willa and Cade?
Yeah. And then Jasper's just there. He's not really.
He's just vibing.
He's not really in the club.
But wait. But he's part of the fam.
Right.
So stupid.
Yeah, Reckless was just really good, and I know they got scared too, like when he went back to like bull riding and they were watching it on the TV and their baby's like, oh my God, there's dad, and it's like, oh my God, this is so freaking cute, and I'm gonna cry.
Female main characters 25, male main characters 32.
25, 26, 27, 28, 29.
7 years.
Thank you. Doing really good.
Quick math. So that must be the couple where I was like, oh, 7 years.
Yeah.
Because Jasper and Sloane are the only ones that are like actually
the same
virtually
age.
the same age.
Yeah.
But they're constantly being made fun of by Harvey.
Because they're cousins, even though they're not actually cousins.
Not by blood.
Right. Because Sloane is actually their cousin, and he's just cousin by
Jasper is
friendship.
like adopted by association.
Right. That's why we said it in the club. We're all fans. We gotta stop.
Third time we said that.
We should have like a little count on the screen. Like, how many times can they mention the club? But yeah. And then Hopeless.
Hopeless. Bo.
I really did love his character though.
I did.
And it's kind of sad too at the same time, because he's like, well, I'm back from war. I literally have burns on my feet so bad. I know you're probably going to go into Elsie Silver having
I'm waiting for my turn.
And she brings, that
feet.
up with his feet. I know you hate feet. And I was like, Paige is hating this right now. So
I
surprised.
read it before you.
I know. So I'm like, I'm surprised this isn't her least favorite.
Because the story was that good that I was able to overlook all the feet talk.
Yeah. And the one part, okay, so she has a really crappy family. The brothers are terrible to her. Parents are not great either, so she just has a bad reputation. Nobody would give her a job. And he's like, let's pretend to get married.
Well, yeah, because her family was like one of the most hated families in town.
Because her brothers are just not good people.
They're juveniles.
Yeah.
Not juveniles. They're imbeciles.
Yes. Yeah.
So their last name carries a lot of baggage. So anywhere she would go, that's her last name. She had no other choice but to get fake engaged to
I know.
Bo.
He's like, let's get fake engaged, and like not really engaged, but like fake. And
I'm
like,
still gonna hit on you.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna be in love with you, and you're not gonna know, but you are gonna know.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that works.
And he owns the bar.
That plot twist, I was like, where am I?
Is this what year is it?
Is this a prank?
That was funny.
Everybody's getting married, engaged, married. I was like, I love this. This is great.
It was like so like boom, 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 one after another. The brothers were finding love.
I was happy for everybody.
I was too. And my favorite part of all the books was that little bonus chapter at the end with Harvey and learning about like him moving past.
And then he says that he's with
his
deceased wife's sister, and I was like, all right. That's like
sure.
That's nice, like especially because they're older. It's not like she had this thing like, oh, I'm gonna get with him one day. It just kind of like happened.
Yeah, because they bonded over grieving the loss of
Yeah.
their loved one, which was her sister and his wife. So it made sense for them.
I did the TikTok filters. What nickname are you from the Chestnut Springs series? I got Princess. And that was from Flawless. So I was like, okay.
Pop off.
Yeah. But okay, so Paige, you have Goodreads reviews. But yeah, I had no reviews that I wrote. I kind of just said them already.
Too enamored with it.
Yeah. I was just like, beautiful. Read the next one. I just loved it. And I kind of already explained it. So
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I just remembered this. Because I highlighted it when I was on my Kindle.
Right.
My favorite line in the entire series, oddly enough, comes from the first book. And I feel like you know what it is. It is, you wear the hat, you ride the cowboy. The second I read that, I felt my whole face, like blood just went.
Yeah, because Summer puts on the hat from that one guy that he competes with, and he was like, take the head off.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what they say, right? And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And was it Willa or was it Winter that at some point
Winter
took it off of
Yes, and I was like,
Theo and put it on, and he was
like,
sister,
you know, like sister.
Yeah. But she was like, or somebody, I think it was Theo that was like, you know the rules, and she goes, damn right, I know the rules. But that was great. So that was my highlight from the first book. But my review for Flawless was 4 stars. I wrote, this was great. Slow start, but it picked up real quick. Love this couple and love this book. I am too in love with the Rose Hill series to call this an Elsie Silver favorite, but it's certainly a good one.
Okay.
So like I said, I don't hate the book. It's
Yeah.
just out of all 5.
Right. That's fair.
Favorite. And then for Heartless, I have 4 highlights.
Oh God.
Yeah, and my daddy said he'd rather roll around in the manure pile than hire you. I said my jaw dropped and now I'm cackling. I love this kid when Luke was talking to Winter. Or Willa. W names.
They're hard.
The other highlight, dropping my panties and insulting the locals, and it's only day 2.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She was such an unhinged character, and I loved it.
Yeah. And I think there was another one. Oh, it was the last batch. I just wanted a beer and a hot tub. No problem, bro. Rhett slaps me on the shoulder hard enough that my fingers ache. I'll grab you one for the road. Also, Summer told me to never go in that hot tub again. The fuck you been doing in there? Get fucked, Rhett. I use chlorine tabs in there and test the water regularly. Is the water pregnant yet?
I'm dead.
Is the water pregnant yet?
That's
crazy. Sent me.
That's crazy. Okay.
And the actual review, I said, OMG, Kate and Willa are everything. They are such a power couple. Love Grumpy X Sunshine. This is leagues better than Flawless by far. Everything about this book was superb compared to the last one. I was giggling, cackling, and falling in love with not only Luke, but the relationship that was building between Willa and Cade. Also, Talia, she can get eaten by a bear.
That's so valid, though.
The only heartless one in this book was you, bitch. How dare you get pregnant on purpose to try and trap Cade with you, and then you have the gall to leave him after Luke is born? You gotta be fucking kidding me. What a heartless bitch. If she ever has her own book, I'll be furious. And
okay,
the reason I said that was because I was told that there is a character that you will meet in the books that you are meant to hate, but she has her own book, and then you'll fall in love with her. I thought the 4th book, Reckless, was going to be Talia. So I was like, if she gets her own book, I'm going to be pissed. I'm so happy it was Winter. And it wasn't a bad book. I rated Hopeless 4 stars. And I wrote, I loved this book. It tackled some dark topics, but I thought it wasn't overbearing, and it was tasteful. I wish I had more time with these characters, but overall, the series was great. I loved Hopeless, but the feet, man. The feet.
She's got a little feet fetish. Like, what are you going to do?
I think the author has a foot fetish because
right.
It's mentioned in every book.
That's her thing.
Every book.
That's
but this
her
one
shtick.
Especially.
That's fair. Yeah, Paige has like a really weird thing with feet. Like, she actually gags.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah.
They're gross.
So we keep feet.
I was talking to somebody the other day and they're like, feet are chill. And I'm like,
feet are chill? Who says that?
like, who the fuck said
feet are
that?
chill.
Feet are chill, but I'm like, feet are disgusting. But I'm romanced out. I'm in a fantasy thriller mood, and I am thriving.
Pop off. But yeah, that's where we're going to end it today, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the ranch. And, and we'll see you next time.
Make sure to subscribe and follow all of our social media accounts down below.
I don't know where that voice came from. Follow all our social media accounts down below. Hit that bell. Smash that subscribe button.
And we will see you guys
next time.
And hopefully Katie will be here.
We never addressed this. She's not.
We love Katie.
She's coming back. We swear.
Love you guys so much. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.